So you want to improve your running game?
Well, stay tuned because we have 7 top tips to make you a better runner. And no matter how much you already run, the last one might surprise you.
Should we go find out what they are?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. While you might think you need to go on a mad pace every single run, 80% of your running should actually be quite easy. So you should be able to hold a conversation or talk like I'm doing now to ensure that you're not going out too hard.
Elite runners will also use the 80-20 method. Even the GOAT, Eliud Kipchoge himself, will spend 80% of his training week doing lower intensities and then 20% of his training week doing higher intensities with sessions like interval and tempo runs. If you want to know more about 80-20 running, go and check out our video.
But that's not all. You'll only improve as a runner if you build enough rest into your training.
When you run, you create microscopic tears in your muscle fibers that then rebuild and make your muscles stronger. This is a massive win, but the only thing is that this rebuilding and strengthening can only happen when you rest. If you don't take the time to rest, then you're not giving your body time to recover from all the hard work that you've put in, so you're putting yourself at more risk of getting injured or burnt out.
Running also boosts your cortisol, which is your stress hormone in your body. And if that level gets too high, it could affect your mood and your sleep. So rest is good for the mind too.
Talking of sleep, aim for at least 8 hours of it every night. Sleep keeps off exhaustion, increases your reaction time, boosts your mood, and tops up your glycogen stores, giving you the energy you need to run and improve.
It's pretty simple really. If you're not giving your body the fuel that it needs, it won't be able to perform as well as it could while running. So to become a better runner, you need to make sure that you stay hydrated and eat enough nutrient-rich foods to sustain you for the amount of exercise that you're doing. Carbs in particular are your best friend.
We store carbs in the body as glycogen, and when we run for longer durations, we tap into those glycogen stores to give us enough energy to keep moving for longer durations. So if you're running for longer, you need to make sure that you're keeping those glycogen stores topped up by taking gels, chews, bars, in order to give yourself enough energy to keep going.
Some runners like to run fasted, and what this means is usually going out for a run first thing in the morning before you've had any breakfast or anything to eat. And while some say this is good for fat loss, it is definitely not the approach you want to take if you want to run longer for higher intensities or if you are focused on improvement and performance.
It's particularly important that female runners fuel well because the female physiology can affect the risk of nutrient deficiencies as well as the way that nutrients are used during the menstrual cycle.
So fuel up. Around 2 hours before you head out on a run, try to have a carb-rich meal or snack, so something like toast, cereal, or even a banana. And then, if you are running for long periods of time, try to ingest around 30 to 60 grams of carbs when you're running every hour. And then when you finish the run, try to have a protein and carb-rich snack around 30 to 60 minutes after finishing. You can also take some electrolytes to replace the sodium lost through sweat and prevent cramping.
Running is for everyone, and this might be a bit of a luxury, but if you can, try and sort yourself out with some proper running kit. It's a really easy way to improve as a runner, and it doesn't even involve any running, and there are also budget options to fit every single person.
We are talking comfortable and responsive running shoes, breathable running attire, including your socks. We're talking a fitness smartwatch to track your progress, and on top of that, any other accessories you might need. Things like sunglasses, hats, gloves, a light waterproof running jacket, or a hydration pack.
Choosing a pair of running shoes can be a bit of a minefield, so if you want some help deciding, then go and check out the video that James and I did where we reviewed all of the top shoes from this year. It can be tricky to find the right pair of running shoes to suit you. You might be a different size in different brands will have different drops and widths, and some fits might give you blisters, so make sure that when you buy a new pair of shoes, you test them out to make sure that they're the right shoe for you, and don't wear a new pair of shoes on race day.
Okay, time to be honest. How many of us just go straight out the door, head for a run, and then come back and crack on with the rest of our days?
Oh, we've all been there, but it's so important to warm up. Even just by doing some simple dynamic exercises before you head out, you're going to actually activate your body, get nice and warm, ready to run, and reduce the risk of injury too. And another tip is if you reduce your stride length and increase your cadence, so the amount of steps that you're taking at the start of your run, this can actually help you run better for longer as well. Calf raises, single leg squats, side lunges, and 30-second or 100-meter strides are all example exercises that can prime us for a good run.
Likewise, don't forget to cool down. I know it sounds boring, but doing static stretches post-run can aid recovery and decrease your risk of injury. Glute stretches, calf stretches, and quad stretches are all very good go-tos that can help reduce cramping and stiffness.
Do you have a favourite warm-up or cool-down routine? Let us know in the comments. And whilst you're there, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to improve as a runner, you should definitely think about building in some strength and conditioning into your weekly routine to help strengthen your muscles. Doing simple bodyweight or equipment-based exercises once or twice a week can help to build up your strength, which will pay off big time for your running. A stronger body means less chance of getting injured, and injuries get in the way of improvement.
Other aerobic exercises like swimming, cycling and even walking can pay off too. They do this by strengthening the necessary muscles and help boost your fitness for better running performance. And they all do this without the impact of running.
Cross-training also adds in a bit of variety to your week, keeping things interesting and stopping you from getting demotivated to run. And no, we don't mean you need to do every single run at the same consistent pace. What we mean by this is that you need to be consistent with what you're doing each week. That could be running 3 times a week, every week, or that could be doing roughly the same mileage each week. Show up, be consistent, and that is the best thing for you.
If you feel good and want to step things up, especially if you're training for a race, then you might want to increase your overall weekly mileage, but don't do too much too soon.
If you are looking to up your mileage or distance, make sure to do this each week by no more than around 10%. And then every 4th week, have a slightly easier, lighter week to give your body a chance to adapt.
If you're not sure where to start, your best bet is to get your hands on a solid training plan like those offered by Runner that work around you and help set you runs to make you better at running.
Now this is something a bit different. It's so easy to focus on the metrics and physical aspects of running, but what about the mental aspects of running as well? Something that's really going to help you to improve your mental toughness and performance is visualization.
Visualization is a sports psychology technique where you imagine yourself succeeding. That could be mental pictures of you smashing your race goal or getting through a tough interval session.
Visualization also gets you to imagine potential obstacles and problems along the way and how you overcome them. By building this mental toughness, you'll feel more positive going into your training runs and races, helping you to stay motivated and succeed in real life.
There are so many elite athletes that practice visualization, so if it's good enough for them, then it's good enough for us too.
So which tips are you going to be taking on, and have you got any tips for us? Let us know in the comments.
If you want to see elite athlete Rose Harvey's expert advice on marathon training, then click on the link and watch the podcast.